Hello, my grand signers. Y'all saw the title of the video, and yes, it has been a year since COVID has been around. I can't believe it's been a year, and with everything going on, it feels longer than a year, but wow. So much just happened, and the last time I did a COVID related video was back in May 2020. It wasn't fully a COVID video. I was talking about my college graduation, but I had some updates about it. But I didn't do like a full-on COVID related video, like during that video. But I haven't said anything about COVID since then. And the last time I did a video where I sat down and just did a whole video about COVID was on March 20th, 2020. So that is why today, a year later, on March 19th, 2021, I will be giving updates about COVID. I actually have this little script here to help me keep in track of like what I'm talking about and whatnot, rather than sitting with my phone off camera and like figure out what I need to say that way. I think it would be easier to do it with a script, so yeah. So like I said, today is March 19th, 2021, and it's actually 7:24 p.m. Like, I'm filming a late video, but whatever. So with that being said, let's get into the COVID updates. Now, before I get into the COVID updates, the YouTube doctors, Dr. Mike, Dr. Hope Sick Notes, and Kristina Bradley, they all posted 1 year worth of COVID related videos. And speaking of Kristina Bradley, during these hard times, Kristina Bradley had good news to share because on February 10th or somewhere around that time, she actually had her second child. So congrats to her. She actually posted that video on her channel, so I'll probably leave that in the cards or somewhere, I don't know. And speaking of that, even though they posted new COVID related videos, I don't know if I'm gonna put that in the playlist because like I said, it's like a year worth of videos, and I don't know how I feel about going through all those videos and putting them in the playlist. I don't know. I'll probably just put their channels in the cards or whatever, so. Now, with the YouTube updates out of the way, well, with the YouTube doctors out of the way, first I'm going to talk about the general COVID updates, and then I'm going to talk about how my life is going with COVID. Ever since the last COVID update, the COVID numbers have since gone up. In my last COVID related video, where I talked about my Tidewater Community College graduation, I said, now it is at 21,507. However, that video was made almost a year ago. I can't believe I'm saying that. But so that number has changed a lot, like, since then. As you can see here, that number has gone up 29,708,451 for the United States and 600,550 for Virginia. As y'all can tell from these numbers, it has gotten worse since the last update. Like, wow. But there is hope for the numbers to go down. Now, the reason why the COVID numbers could go down soon is because research for COVID vaccines started in July 2020, and since mid-March 2021, people are now able to get COVID vaccines. People Phase 1A, healthcare personnel and residents of long-term care facilities. Phase 2B is frontline essential workers, people age 65 and up, people age 16 to 64 with underlying medical conditions, people living in correctional facilities, homeless shelters, and migrant labor camps. Phase 1C is other essential workers, and Phase 2, the phase I'm probably in, is for people that are 16 and older. Vaccines in Virginia are expected to be done by May, so I really hope that's the case. And also, the new president, Joe Biden, is even saying that COVID should be done by July 4th. Here is a clip of that.
If we do all this, if we do our part, we do this together, by July the 4th, there's a good chance you, your families and friends will be able to get together in your backyard or in your neighborhood and have a cookout or a barbecue and celebrate Independence Day.
More good news, former President Donald Trump actually had COVID 2020, but he had a quick recovery, so that's good. And in Virginia, overnight summer camps are now open. Virginia overnight summer camps, they were closed, but since March 1st, they have reopened. Gatherings have also gone up to 25 people for outdoors only. And as you can see in this clip here, when COVID first started, stores did not have a lot of toilet paper at all. Like, there was nothing there. And I didn't get a clip of this, but now there is toilet paper, so I'm so happy about that. I'm so glad we sorted out, like, that issue out. Now, there are more, like, updates going on, but that is all I'm gonna say in this video, because, like, I want to keep this, like, even though it's a COVID video, I want to try to keep it as positive as I can, so I'm gonna keep it with those updates. So now, with those updates out of the way, I'm gonna get into how COVID is affecting me. When I made that video, I had hoped that my December graduation will be in person. That's why I did not attend the May graduation. Like, I still graduated, but I didn't really attend it because I thought that I would walk at the summer graduation. However, just like the one in May, it was sadly online again. This actually led me to posting a little graduation video. It was really fun to make. Like, behind the scenes was really funny if you saw that, like, earlier this year. It sucked how I wasn't able to vlog, but, like, that little graduation I had, the little fake graduation ceremony I had was really fun. And, I'm so glad I did it. And, speaking of that video, here's a clip of that. When I started going to Old Dominion University, my classes were online. The only class that was somewhat in person was my Intro to Filmmaking class. It was mostly online, but I went on campus to, like, film and whatnot. Like, that was the only time I went on campus, and that was the same for my cinematography class. It's mostly online, but, like, recently, as you'll see in a video that's coming up soon, we actually had these, like, little these little workshops where we took a look at these cameras. I don't want to, like, I have clips, but I don't want to show them because they'll be in the next week's video. I can't wait for that. I'll be doing a Week of My Life video soon, so that'll be coming out next week. I wanted to come out this week, but then I realized it was the 20th, and I wanted to do this COVID update video, so yeah. Of course, there was, like, limits on how many students there could be in the room. I think the limit was 10, and we still had to wear masks and whatnot. There's even like a temperature check like thing like outside the door. Like it's touchless, so all you got like right here is the the temperature thing, and you got like go like that, and it tells you the temperature. So that's really cool. It's not really that accurate, but it's accurate enough. It'll be cold outside, and I'll be coming in from the cold, and I'll check my temperature, and it says like 91. I doubt it's that, but it's not like a fever temperature, but 91, that's too low. I think the cold's affecting it, but yeah. It's accurate enough. And almost every week, I had to get a COVID test. I really hate it. But both of them have been negative. I had two, and they were negative, so that's good. I am kind of due for a third one, because I didn't have a COVID test for like 2 weeks. So yeah, I should probably schedule a COVID test soon, because for my cinematography class we are filming something, so I might as well go get a COVID test. And as I was doing research for this, like as I was making this script right here and like research on my computer about the COVID test, about the updates of COVID, I actually pre-registered for my COVID vaccine. I don't know when that's gonna be, but it was a quick process. All I had to do was put in my name and stuff. Like, it wasn't that bad. I can't wait for, I can't wait to get the vaccine. Not a huge fan of shots. Like, the shot itself, going to the arm doesn't bother me, but not a huge fan of needles, but we'll see how it goes. I don't know where it's going to be at. I don't know what I'm going to get, but I think somewhere around May is where I should get. Because as I said about that earlier, so hopefully that's the case. Oh, and I also recently got good news about the fall semester. All classes are expected to be in person, so I can't wait for that. It sucked how I started going to Old Dominion with online classes. There was classes that feel like they should be in person, like the Acting 1 class, like that should have been in person, but wasn't. And then would have been nice if the stage makeup class and the costume design class were in person. I don't know if that would work out because of time conflict, I don't know. But I think I find it better that it was in like online, but would have been nice if it was in person. But I'm still glad I was able to take stage makeup, and I'm glad I'm taking costume design. Speaking of costume design, we are going to start sewing soon, so I don't know if I'm going to do like a little series about that, like kind of like how I did for stage makeup. I don't know, but we'll see. I don't have the stuff for it. Like, I don't want to talk too much about it because this is a COVID related video, but maybe like I'll probably talk about it in the next video. But anyway, off topic, but I hope that these classes are in person. So COVID, you better not ruin it for me. Like, you better not ruin it for me, COVID, okay? I tell you that. Don't ruin it for me. Or we're gonna meet in the back alley, and we're gonna, of like some random building, and we're gonna fight. Actually, probably wouldn't be a good idea to fight like that. Still have to stay 6 feet, so COVID, I hope you know karate, because we're gonna bring both staffs to the back alley and we're gonna fight it out like that. Actually, that still wouldn't be a good idea, because COVID is a crazy disease, so yeah. We could verbally fight on Zoom. Because physically meeting up with you, COVID, would not be a good idea. I don't want you. Now, I believe we still have to wear masks and stay 6 feet apart. I don't know, like, what's gonna happen with masks. When I was doing research, I didn't see anything about, like, getting rid of masks. I did not see anything about that, so I hope, like, soon we can get rid of masks, but I don't think that's gonna happen, like, when I start going back, so, I don't know. So yeah, those are all the updates I have about COVID. A lot's changed, like, 2020 was a terrible year, like losing my graduation, like having it be online, and then like Easter, 4th of July, and Christmas, they all sucked because we couldn't do anything properly. Christmas, we couldn't see family as usual. Thanksgiving, we did do something, if y'all remember that video. We did go to the beach house, that was nice. We didn't go for Christmas because I guess, like, the numbers did go up for, like, during that time. Also, it wouldn't be a good idea to go to the beach house, like, even before COVID, because around that time it is really cold outside, so what's the point of going to the beach? So, if you remember from the Christmas video, I think I said I cried from that, so that sucked. So, 2021 Christmas, you better be better. And also, I did start karate again. Should have mentioned that and stuff about me. But, yeah. Karate has been going on since October, so I'm happy about that. Unfortunately, when this video goes out on the 20th, on Saturday, I won't be going to karate because there was some positive cases of COVID. And they gotta clean up there. So that thing where I didn't go to karate for 6 months, like, that better not repeat itself. Or else. I think it's a one-day thing. I really hope it is. Crossing my fingers. I really hope it's a one-day thing. Yeah, I did not like not having karate for 6 months. Like, all of us, like, became rusty on the katas and everything. It was terrible. But hopefully next week there's karate again. Obviously, karate is a little different. We're not sparring or anything. Kind of wish we could, like, shadow spar, like, have us be 6 feet apart and, like, still, I don't know. But yeah, I think that's everything I want to talk about COVID and how it's been. That's all I want to talk about with COVID and all the updates. There is more stuff about COVID than what I discussed. I didn't want to, like, make this a long, drawn out video with stuff. I want to have this video be the same length, pretty much, as the last one. So, and I wanted it to be more positive because there was positive news, like the vaccines and numbers going down and whatnot. Obviously, they're still high, but hopefully it goes down a lot. So yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna end the COVID video here. Hopefully this is the last COVID update video I do, because I really hate talking about this, but I'm doing it for y'all. I feel better about doing this COVID video because it's more positive, I guess. I kind of still had to talk about negative stuff, like the graduation being canceled and whatnot, but there is a silver lining with me having in-person classes again, so I can't wait for that. I don't know if the COVID tests are going to be, like, crazy again, like, every week. So hopefully that's not a thing. Hopefully I'm good after the COVID shot and whatnot. So yeah, with that being said, stay safe out there. I hope y'all enjoyed. And don't forget to keep on signing. Bye.